Hello, everyone, and welcome to Warren's Team Talk. I hope that you're all well, and thanks so much for coming to visit my channel on this bank holiday weekend. Anyway, if you're new to Warren's Team Talk, I want to give you a big warm welcome to the channel, and also thank you for popping along and seeing what I've got to offer you and your visit to the channel. Anyway, so I'm back today because I've got yet another episode, another an exciting and hopefully interesting one, and it's the penultimate one in the series, and it's episode 42 of England's most successful football club. And in this episode, we're taking a look at Liverpool story, and it covers the period in their history from 1892 to the end of the 1969-70 season. So firstly, I would like to dedicate this video to all those people who sadly lost their lives, the Hillsborough and Heysel Stadium disasters, and all their friends and families and all the people who were affected by those two tragedies. And yeah, so just, let's just remember those poor people. Anyway, it seems that the Warren's Team Talk coach is ready and raring to go for our trip up to Liverpool to visit everyone at Anfield. So just before we get going, please remember, if you haven't done so already, please put a like on the video, and please subscribe to my channel if you haven't done that yet. And please make sure that you pass the content around with anyone who you feel might find it interesting. And please remember, you don't have to pay to be a subscriber to my channel. It's completely free. There's no charge to you, and it only takes a second just to click on a button on the screen. So anyway, I hope that you enjoy the show, and let's get moving. Hi everyone, we've made it back up to Liverpool. We've got to Anfield, and we're just going to pop in to visit Jurgen and everyone else at Liverpool Football Club and find out all about them. So as I did for the Arsenal Manchester United stories, I've decided to split this Liverpool story into two parts. In this episode, I'll be looking at Liverpool from the period 1892 up to the end of the 1969-70 season. And then part two will cover Liverpool's story from the 1970-71 season. Anyway, so Liverpool, also known as the Reds, were formed in 1892, and the club joined the Football League the following year for the start of the 1893-94 season, and they were entered into the second division Tier 2, and their very first league game was against Middlesbrough Oranopolis on the 2nd of September 1893, in the game which they won by 2-0. A chap by the name of Malcolm McVean scored their first ever goal in the Football League. Since they were formed, Liverpool have always played at their current home ground of Anfield, and strangely, Liverpool FC were created after a dispute between John Holding, who owned the Anfield Road ground, and Everton, who originally played at Anfield, strangely enough. And the dispute apparently was over rent in 1892, and Everton FC moved out and across Stanley Park to their new home at Goodison. And when this happened, John Holding was unceremoniously booted off Everton's board, and so he decided to set up a new club. Now, he originally tried to retain the name of Everton for his new club, but when this failed, he decided to use the name Liverpool. And so on the 3rd of June, 1892, Liverpool FC was born. Now, at the beginning of their life, it seems that there was some legal issues with Liverpool Rugby Club, but it seems that these were resolved, and obviously they were, and the fledgling club flourished and grew. Now, the new club, Liverpool FC, played, as I said, in their home games at Anfield ever since their formation. Liverpool's fans are famously known as Copites, and their club's well-known anthem is "You'll Never Walk Alone," which is also the anthem of one of my clubs, the mighty Glasgow Celtic. The never boring, free-scoring, mighty Glasgow Celtic. Anyway, I've put a copy of a link for a YouTube video of the Liverpool fans singing "You'll Never Walk Alone" in the comments section of this video for you all. Anyway, so moving on. Now, here we have a document which looks to me a bit like a birth certificate, and it shows Liverpool's registration as a new company in 1992, and it seems to show that the company changed its name from Everton Football Club and Athletic Grounds Company Limited to Liverpool Football Club and Athletic Grounds Company Limited. Now, this is Mr. John Holding, who, as far as I'm aware or I'm able to tell, was the founding father of Liverpool Football Club. Now, here we can see Liverpool's first ever kit. And Liverpool started their life as a football club wearing blue and white halved shirts. But after a short time, Liverpool started to wear red shirts, and unsurprisingly, this is where their nickname of the Reds comes from. Now, Liverpool's first success came in the 1893-94 season, which was their very first in the English Football League, when they won the second division Tier 2 title. And in doing so, they enjoyed an invincible season. And not only that, they had a perfect home record in that season and won every league game that they played at home that year. This success means that Liverpool are one of only 3 English clubs in Football League history to go through a entire league season unbeaten. The other 2 were Preston North End and my team, Arsenal. Now, this second division Tier 2 title entered Liverpool into an end-of-season test match stroke playoff match against Newton Heath, who would later be known as Manchester United, who finished bottom of the first division Tier 1. And Liverpool won this match by 2-0, which meant they were elected in the first division Tier 1, and Newton Heath were relegated into the second division Tier 2. Now, this is a picture of the Liverpool 1893-94 second division championship winning team. And as you can see, they've got that blue and white halved shirts kit on. I actually quite like it, to be honest. Despite the blue, I'm not a great fan of blue, but there you go. So, as I did with previous episodes of England's most successful football club, I'm going to start off by looking at the success which Liverpool had in league football, and more specifically, I'm going to be starting by looking at the lowest level of English professional football that they have played in, which in Liverpool's case is the English Football League second division Tier 2. So, Liverpool have had 2 fourth place finishes in the second division Tier 2. The first of these 2 fourth place finishes came in the 1957-58 season, when they finished 3 points behind the second division Tier 2 champions that year, West Ham United. This season also saw Liverpool finish 2 points behind second place Blackburn Rovers, which meant that unfortunately for the Reds, they missed out on promotion to the second division, to the first division. The second fourth place finish in the second division Tier 2 happened the following year in the 1958-59 season, when they finished 9 points behind the second division champions Sheffield Wednesday. The club also failed to win promotion for the second year in succession, when they finished 7 points behind Fulham, who claimed the second place and also the final promotion spot. Now, Liverpool have finished third in the second division Tier 2 on 4 occasions, and the first of these happened in the 1955-56 season, when they finished 7 points behind the second division champions Sheffield Wednesday, and unfortunately for Liverpool, they missed out on promotion this season when they finished 4 points behind second place Leeds United, who also claimed final promotion spot. The very next season, in the 56-57 season, Liverpool again fell short, as they finished third in the second division Tier 2, when they finished 8 points behind the second division Tier 2 champions Leicester City, and missed out on promotion because they finished 1 point behind second place Nottingham Forest, who claimed the final promotion spot. Now, the third of these third place finishes happened in the 1959-60 season, when they finished 9 points behind second division Tier 2 champions Aston Villa, and Liverpool also missed out on promotion as they fell short of the final promotion spot by 8 points to Cardiff City, who claimed the second place finish and the final promotion spot. And then finally, in the following year, in the 1960-61 season, they finished 7 points behind the second division champions Ipswich Town, and missed out on promotion again for the 6th year in succession, when they finished 6 points behind Sheffield United, who claimed the final promotion spot and a second place finish. So far in their history, Liverpool have never ever finished second in the second division. So there's nothing to say about second place finishes. Now, Liverpool have won 4 second division Tier 2 titles in their history so far. The first of these 4 second division Tier 2 titles came in their first season in the English Football League, in the 1893-94 season, which I talked about a few moments ago, so I'm not going to go into that one again. But in their second division Tier 2 title came in the 1895-96 season, when they won the second division title on the basis of the fact that they had a superior goal average to a second place Manchester City, when they both finished the season on 46 points. This season also saw Liverpool only drop 1 point at home in the Football League all season. Their title win this season meant that Liverpool successfully qualified for the end of the season Test match stroke promotion playoffs, where they defeated Small Heath, who will be later be known as Birmingham City 4-0 on aggregate, and also drew with West Bromwich Albion 2-1 on aggregate. These results meant that Liverpool was successfully elected into the First Division Tier 1. Now, Liverpool's third second division title came in the 1904-05 season, when they finished 2 points ahead of second place Bolton Wanderers and also 5 points ahead of their bitter rivals Manchester United, who finished third. Liverpool also enjoyed an unbeaten home league season this year and only dropped 3 points at home all season due to 3 draws which they had. Now, to date, Liverpool's final second division title win happened in the 1961-62 season when they won the second division title at Cantor, finishing 8 points ahead of second place Leyton Orient. And once again, Liverpool enjoyed an unbeaten home league season and dropped only three points at home all season, again through 3 draws. I believe that final second division title was when Bill Shankly joined, happened just after Bill Shankly joined the club. And on the 14th of December 1959, I'm being told that Liverpool appointed Bill Shankly as manager. So, yeah, he was in charge when they won that title. And it's fair to say that he did transform the club. When asked about his vision for the club, he said, "My idea was to build Liverpool into a bastion of invincibility. Had Napoleon had that idea, he would have conquered the bloody world. My idea was to build Liverpool up and up until eventually everyone would have to submit and give in." I mean, for me, that's incredible. That's the sort of mentality that is sadly missing at my club at the moment. And there you go. What can you say? He was also responsible for Liverpool changing their home first choice kit from one which had red shirts and white shorts to one that was an all-rig kit in 1964, which, as far as I know, has been used ever since. The idea being that he thought that it would intimidate the opposition. So he also once said that some people believe that football is a matter of life and death. And he said, "I'm very disappointed with that attitude. I can assure you it is much more important than that." And to be honest with you, that's probably true. For a lot of people, it is like that. And then at Anfield, they've got a plaque. Well, they always did have a plaque. I don't know if it's still there, which says when players are walking down out onto the pitch, it says, there's a plaque on the wall that says, "This is Anfield." He said about that plaque, "It is there to remind our lads who they're playing for and to remind the opposition who they're playing against." So obviously, yeah, he was trying to get into people's heads and make sure that either that they performed or they got intimidated. Now, also, Bill Shankly, as I am, was a massive socialist. And he said, "The socialism I believe in is everyone working for each other, everyone having a share of the rewards. It's the way I see football, and it's the way I see life." And I can't say I disagree with him. That's absolutely superb. So onwards we go. Now, Liverpool's league success in the first division tier 1 between 1892 and 1970 was they've had 3 fourth place finishes in the first division tier 1. This happened in 1919-20 season, firstly, when they finished 12 points behind the first division champions West Bromwich Albion. And then again, the following season, they finished 4th, 8 points behind the league champions Burnley, and then again 4 years later when they finished again 8 points behind the league champions Huddersfield Town. Then third place finishes in the first division. This only ever happened on one occasion, which was in the 1967-68 season when they finished 3 points behind Manchester City. And then they finished second in the first division on 3 occasions. In 1898-99, when they finished 2 points behind Aston Villa. In the 1909-10 season, when they finished 5 points behind Aston Villa. And then finally, in the 1968-69 season, they finished 6 points behind Leeds United. Now, Liverpool have won the first division title on 7 occasions between 1892 to 1970. The first of these came in the 1900 to 1901 season when they finished 2 points ahead of Sunderland. In the 1905-1906 season, when they finished 4 points ahead of Preston North End to win the First Division Championship. And at that time, Preston North End were a major force in English football, as we've already seen. In the 1921-22 season, when they finished 6 points ahead of Tottenham Hotspur. And the following year, they won the league title for the second year in succession, when they finished, they won the league title by a winning margin of 6 points over second place Sunderland. And then the next league title did not come for another 24 years, though, when it was the first full season after the end of the Second World War, which was the 1946-47 season, when they finished 1 point ahead of their bitter rivals Manchester United. And then the next one was a further 17 years later, when they beat their bitter rivals Manchester United into second place, and had a winning margin of 4 points over them to claim the First Division title. And then in the 2 years later, in the 1965-66 season, they finished 6 points ahead of Leeds United to win the league title. So Liverpool's best league performances during this period are shown here. Now, the way that I worked this out was because during the period we had times when we had 2 points for a win, 3 points for a win, was to look at what I managed to do was calculate how many points they had each season by calculating it on a 3 point per win basis. And then, because some of the seasons they played 28 games, some of them they played 34, some of them they played 30 games, and some of the times they played 42, I ranked them in order of a points per game ratio. And what it came up with was their best season ever was in the 1893-94 season, when they won their first ever league title in the second division. In the 1904-1905 season, again in the second division. The 1895-96 season was the third best season. The 1961-62 season was their fourth best season, and then finally the 1965-66 season was their fifth best season. So let's move on now to look at Liverpool's domestic cup success between 1892 to 1970. Now, during this time, they've been runners-up in the FA Cup twice, They've won the cup once, and they've never been runners-up or won the League Cup at all. They've been runners-up in the Charity Shield once. They've shared it twice, and they've been outright winners on one occasion. So let's look into this a bit more. So the Football League Cup, as I said, they've never ever been runners-up in that. And they've never won the Football League Cup either. Now, in the 1913-14 season, they lost 1-0 to Burnley at Wembley Stadium in the FA Cup, a game played at the Crystal Palace Stadium. And then in the 1949-50 season, they lost 2-0 to Arsenal at Wembley Stadium. And then in the 1964-65 season, Liverpool won their first ever FA Cup when they defeated Leeds United 2-1 after extra time at Wembley Stadium in front of a capacity 100,000 crowd. And that day, Ian St John, I believe, scored the winning goal. Now, here we can see some pictures of their FA Cup winning, their first ever FA Cup victory. There's a picture there in the top left-hand corner of them with the FA Charity Shield and also the FA Cup, which they won in the 1964-65 season. Then in the top right-hand corner, you can see Ian St John scoring the winning goal. And then the bottom picture, you can see the Liverpool players celebrating their FA Cup win. And it looks like there's a Bobby in the background as well, looking over things. In the middle, that is a FA Cup winners medal, apparently. And the crest at the top of the screen is Liverpool's crest at that during that season. Right, so let's look at the FA Community Shield. Now, they've been runners-up in this on one occasion, which happened in 1922 when they lost 1-0 to Huddersfield Town at Old Trafford in front of 20,000 people. And they shared it on two occasions. This happened in two consecutive seasons. First of these was 1964, when they drew 2-2 with West Ham United at Anfield. And then the following year, 1965, they again drew 2-2, this time with Manchester United at Manchester United's Old Trafford ground. And then they've won the trophy outright once between 1892 to 1970. That was when they defeated Everton by 1-0 goal to nil at Goodison Park in 1966. Okay, so let's look at Liverpool's European success. So Liverpool's European success, I should say, from 1892 to 1970. Now, European football really only ever got started in 1955. Now, up until the 1970s, Liverpool only had one European success, and that was when they were runners-up to Borussia Dortmund in the 1965-66 season in the European Cup Winners' Cup, and this game was played at Hampden Park in Glasgow, the game had an attendance of just over 61,000. Now, I should mention as well that in their run to the final, they defeated the mighty, free-scoring, never boring, rip-roaring Celtic in the semi-final. I think it was 3-2 on aggregate. Yeah, so not good. But anyway, that picture there is of Hampden Park in Glasgow. Anyway, so Liverpool's notable successes from 1892 to 1970 were that in the 1893-94 season, Liverpool became only the second club in English football history to stay unbeaten for a whole season. Liverpool won their first FA Cup in the 1964-65 season. Liverpool scored 106 goals in the 89-95-96 season, which to date is the highest amount they have scored in the entire season. On the 2nd of February 1952, Liverpool recorded the highest ever home attendance of 61,905 when they played Wolverhampton Wanderers in the FA Cup, 4th round. Then on the 18th of February 1899, Liverpool defeated Rotherham Town 10-1 in the 2nd division, which is their record ever league win. Now, Liverpool's biggest FA Cup win came on the 29th of October 1889, when they defeated a club called Newtown 9-0 in the second qualifying round. And Liverpool's biggest ever FA League Cup win was when they defeated Fulham 10-0 in the second round, first leg in the 1964-65 season. Now, so I just wanted to say as well, just bear with me a second. In the next episode, which will be out in part 2 of the Liverpool story, this will cover everything from 1970. And in that episode, I will put out a greatest ever Liverpool team at the end of the show. Now, this will be out on Saturday. And now, as you can see, finally, the last thing I want to say about Liverpool Football Club is to tell you that my first ever game that I saw live in the flesh was when my dad took me to Highbury as a 5-year-old boy, and we stood together on the clock end at Highbury and saw Arsenal play Liverpool on the 16th of September 1972. The game ended in a 0-0 draw, and this game famously saw the famous football pundit Jimmy the Chin Hill step in for the linesman on the day, as he was unable to continue with his linesman duties. And had he not done so, the game would have highly probably had to have been abandoned, because due to FA rules, if you haven't got a referee and 2 linesmen, then you're not able to continue. Well, sadly, everyone, that is the end of today's show. I hope that you enjoyed it and you found it interesting and informative. But anyway, as I said in the video, I will be putting out our greatest ever Liverpool team and at the end of the next episode, part 2 of the Liverpool story. But if you want to put a greatest ever Liverpool team in the comments section of the video for this one, please feel free, as well as any other comments that you want to make about my video or about Liverpool Football Club. That would be amazing, and I really enjoy reading any of your comments. And of course, I'll always respond to you. But please, before you go, if you haven't done so already, please, like I said, please put a like on the video. Please subscribe to my channel. Please pass it on to anyone who you think might enjoy watching it. And remember, like I said, it's all completely free, and hopefully it will help you keep you entertained. Anyway, so I will be back again on Saturday with part 2 of the Liverpool story, which covers the period from the 1970-71 season to the present day. But more importantly than any of that, please remember to look after yourselves and share some love, kindness and joy around the world. And please, please, please keep talking to each other, and remember to keep helping each other and sharing love around the world. Anyway, please, I just want to say one more thing before I go, and that's justice for the 96. It's been long overdue since those poor people have had any justice, so let's make sure that the government gives it to them. Anyway, I look forward to seeing you the next time, so please take care. Bye for now.